Good afternoon and welcome to DieDragonDie presents the Legends campaign, a Mythic Pathfinder campaign. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Adam, Ahmed, and Mark. How is everyone doing this weekend?
I know what happened to our characters.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
This week is good. There was some prep and stuff this week that was pretty fun. I'm warming up a different chapeau.
Right, so Adam has agreed to do a side
thought
campaign in addition
possible.
to the regular Saturday game, where Adam is in the DM chair and Mark, Ahmed, and I are in the player chair. Yes.
That is fun. I'm a little stiff from the game, and I just had a nice piece of pie. So aside from the whole
You're putting the wrong words in the
naked
same
and
sentence,
screaming
dude.
being brought into this world, we're pretty good. Pretty good.
I feel
Okay.
like I just ran into a unicorn.
Oh no, Ahmed's going to be doing the puberty monster voice
All day.
from
All day.
from Big Mouth. You could watch it on Netflix. No, this is not a paid
It's not a paid
advertisement.
advertisement. It's just, I need to understand me.
This is just
It's the voice of
Ahmed.
his next character.
This is just Ahmed
monster.
finding what completes him. The show completes
And you might
me.
find it too.
Oh,
At
shall guide-
www.
I shall guide you to the truth through the hormone monster.
okay. It's like it explains so much.
Look, it's my online persona.
Oh god.
So creepy.
Mark, how was your week, man?
He actually has a
sorry.
Okay.
How was the day trip that was actually all day?
Afternoon. It was an afternoon
What?
that went till 11 p.m.
Right. It was fine.
I said it was fine.
What was fine?
It was fine.
Fine.
Look what you've done.
Dad, you know what you gotta do? Start drawing unicorns. DJ
Oh.
Mark's on the ball. Jeez, he's on chains. He's sticking into the chin. Oh, he's out.
I asked
Why
a
are you
really
doing
simple
this to
question.
me right now?
It's called karma.
How was
bitch.
your week is a question we've asked 73 weeks in a row. This is not a trick question. We're not trying to get you into trouble. Role play better, Mark. He's got it from-
Unnecessary roughness on the play, 10 yards.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Pete
Oh.
first down.
And we lost Mark. Oh shit.
Oh, no. Just put the speakers on the couch. He'll take over. All right, where are we?
Okay.
I'm gonna be in a meeting. Like, hey, Ahmed, what do you think of this? I think it's fine. Sorry, I think it's good.
Why don't we do a recap of the last couple of games? Game 71 and 72 is called The Heart of Carnage, Part 1 and 2. After defeating the three aspects of Unigu in the Hall of Mirrors, the party enters the Heart of Carnage, where Unigu himself sits. This is the center of his domain. All is not well with the Demon Lord, as he seems to be undergoing a crisis of morals, while his domain falls apart around him. And of course, the bloodthirsty adventurers are gunning for him. The Heart of Carnage, Part 2. Give me my bow!
I resemble that remark.
Right. The Heart of Carnage Part 2, the heroes battle through Yunugu's remaining guardians, while thousands of gnolls and petitioners bear witness to confront the mighty Yunugu himself in mortal combat. The presence of three visiting demon lords complicates matters. The party actually slew Yunugu.
Dun, dun, dun.
They took the bow from him, which was a good artifact. A bow that is mighty and had helped lay low Yunugu. Perhaps your heroics were not possible if Yunugu hadn't been sick of the mind. Still, the Demon Lords were not there to stop you from doing this. They were there to pick the corpse, like the carrion birds they were, upon Yunugu's demise. They might very well be fighting over his petitioners, his power, his items, maybe even the entire lair of the 422nd layer of the Abyss. The Seeping Woods, I believe it's called.
I call it shitty corners.
It is not a happy place, no. It is not a nice place. I believe Lemmy, and let me just get this straight, who are the ones that
Left.
plane shifted with Lemmy? It was Lemmy,
Low
Altagar, Lokrik,
and Midwick.
and Midwick. Almost leaving King Altagar behind, as Lemmio had negative
It was 4
levels
a.m. It was 4 a.m.
and did not have enough oomph to teleport out as per the plan. Leaving Donovan, Donovan, Ukr, and Azildin teleported to the meeting spot just outside of the magnificent mansion that they had conjured the night prior. And time began to go by. The summoned angels that Lemmio had that helped loot Yunagu's corpse, I think, was their final act.
Yep.
Dropped all the items as they disappeared, and Donovan, Ukr, and Azildin, you're now standing outside of the magnificent mansion. The strange cube creature came out and basically reiterated his lot in life, that he is a slave, or your slave. And he seems to look at Azildin when he does that, although he looks for Donovan's approval, which is weird. Maybe he interprets you as the interpreter.
He says he likes you.
As it quickly becomes apparent that something bad has happened to Lemmy, Lokrik, Midwick, and Altagar.
Or alternately, something bad has happened to us.
No, you are in this horrible layer of the abyss. You can hear crackling in the heavens as it sounds like things are opening, like great metal doors grinding open, mixed in with lightning storms and thunder, billowing strange clouds as well. The angels fighting the demons have stopped. Like you don't see that battle anymore in the distance, but you get a great sense of impending doom. Like, I mean, it's like hovering over everything in this place.
We need to leave. Uka, do you have any of those sendings ready via, like, vial? No.
Int check. You remember something about sendings and planes. Int check.
I already know they don't work on planes, but I could check to see if you're on the fucking plane with one. All right.
Then you guys had a brief conversation about rods.
Yep.
And
rods.
Azildin had a smart remark about Lemmy not sharing the rods too much, and then Donovan did mention he had a rod to a single place. These rods are like keys for the plane shift spell. Donovan, what is that place that you have the rod to, or the key?
First
for?
layer of the abyss.
First layer of the abyss. Well, okay, so you're on the 422nd layer of the abyss, which is Yunagu's realm,
It's
or was
a
Yunagu's
lot
realm.
fewer stairs.
Yep.
Actually, I think we would. Azildin, do you have a plane shift prepared or no? You need to speak up, Azzy, into the microphone with it being on.
Your microphone.
I'm doing the sad work of bare boning my character.
Well, you're gonna have to bare bone him.
Remember to do it in the right folder. Remember to do
Yes.
it in the right folder, my
So
friend.
one of the requests for the beginning of this game was to take a copy of their character sheet and remove basically all their gear and weird things from their character sheet. So they've got this bare
Like
bones
spells,
version of their
powers.
Yep.
Man, we are
Abilities.
freaking hoarders. That's all I gotta say.
There's so many things. Yeah, I didn't even read it. I just would like highlight the whole list and go bye bye, and then hit the delete button.
Yeah.
All right, let me
Tear came
check
out my
with
cheek.
Azildin, you guys have trophies, so you ended up stowing all the items that you took from
Yes.
from Yunagu's hoard. You noticed that when you picked up Yunagu's flail, it righted itself to the proper size for your hands.
Okay.
Like it shrunk down into medium size?
Yeah, I think Donovan doesn't quite know what the flail does, but he's going to kind of not think Azildin should touch the
No,
God's
he doesn't
flail.
want to either. So
So yeah, just as a
that
like
is not a trophy.
Although
or
Azildin
maybe
has-
good things will fall from the sky if the lawful guy touches the.
Isildan does have the head of a minor demon lord's aspect called
Yep.
Dorsane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's
with his
just
2
wandering
black
with the
fletched
head.
arrows still sticking out of it.
Oh, all right. Pack it out on foot, or try to go to the first layer of the abyss.
What level is plane shift? Because I don't think I have it prepared.
It's either 5th or 6th.
You've got it. You have it, dude. It's 5th,
Well,
I think.
he has it, but does he have one prepared?
I don't have it
It's
prepared.
like you always step out the door.
I don't have it prepared
Plane
because I
shift
never get
ready.
any rods. So why would I prepare it?
We're gonna go
Shave
back
vest.
and give the biggest noogie to Lemmy and take a bunch of rods.
What do you mean you don't have any rods? Why don't you get some?
Do any of you have a,
spend
a
all my
hero
time getting
point
rods.
or an ability to cast a spell?
Donovan has no hero points or mythic points remaining to do a casting out of his butt.
Okay.
As well. So the first thing I think we would try. Well, so does Azzy have any hero or mythic points left?
He has mythic points left.
So we have 2 options. We could rest for an hour. You can prepare a plane shift, and we could try to get out that way. Or we don't rest for an hour. We try to take the passageway that Uka partially blocked, and see if that is open to get to some place relatively safe to teleport away.
I don't think this is a safe place to rest, quite frankly.
The Magnificent Mansion. It should be here for another 18 hours or so.
Yeah, it won't be safe from demons.
Not terribly, but for the 1 hour, it might suffice.
Since the death of Yunugu, you have not sensed any scrying sensors on you, Donovan.
Yeah, they're busy. They're not currently looking at us.
Alright, then we can rest, but it still doesn't solve the problem. I don't have a rod.
Well, no, I have a rod. You can use my rod. It'll get us to at least to another plane.
What do you have a rod for if you don't need it?
If
Come
I
on,
was
Gat.
more filled with vigor. Here you go. Just because I can't use it right now doesn't mean I can't use it at all.
So you're going into the Magnificent Mansion to take a rest?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing? Okay, so
Yes.
leaving the eerie and kind of very stormy landscape behind, you go into the Magnificent Mansion with all the beautiful art that was adorned by the god Palor. The wonderful meal, leftovers of which still fresh on the table before you. Nice, clean air with a touch of incense. Almost gaudy in its adornments. You swear you heard like a little bit of angel song as you entered, kind of like.
I hear that whenever I enter any room. Donovan will spend one of his few remaining spells for the day to spend 10 minutes casting Sending to see if he can contact Lemmy. To see what happened.
Okay.
Lemmy, where are you? Are you safe? What happened, Donovan?
That's your response.
There's some
The person
static.
you're trying to contact is not available.
There's some static. Can you write down this sending?
Sure. Into the journal with you. Journal. Marriage date. We're gonna miss something. Where are you? Are you safe? What happened, Donovan?
Collect calls are not permitted at this line. Good times. Sorry, Mark. Was not in my state of mind when I was trying to make those decisions last game.
That's okay. I wasn't in a state of mind to correct you, so.
Hey, I'll be right back. You're like, yeah, okay.
That's cool.
That sounds
man, don't
good.
worry.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Take your
You
time.
do hear some static, but then you also hear some strange form of language. It's like thanks, Ahmed. A few like beeps and clicks and strange mechanical sounds, but some of them actually sound sort of pleasant. Because Donovan can understand any verbal speech, it actually says
sound.
in a slightly female voice, it says, "Transmission intercepted. Injecting response."
Your friends are
Donovan
safe.
doesn't know who these bastards are. Adam does. Okay.
Your friends are safe. Leave layer 422 immediately.
And then injection response ended. Yeah. Injecting
Uka?
response terminated. That's probably.
Uka, could you come over here? We need to not bug Azzy. Everybody kumbaya Azzy for a moment.
Does Azzy have a mythic point to refresh his abilities and powers?
Yes, he does.
Oh, you're beautiful. You are beautiful, sir.
Do you,
actually-
what languages does a Zildan speak? Sorry, not a Zildan, a Donovan, because he's the one that heard this.
Done everything.
Donovan speaks, well, the languages he knows are Crucible, Trade Tongue, Elven, Draconic, Celestial, Sylvan, and then anything that communicates via sound.
Okay. The language it was speaking to you in was Elven.
Okay.
However, there was a dialect. You can give me, or there was like an accent. Can you give me a linguistics check?
You make it sound like I put a single rank into linguistics. I did not. I know not.
You, sir, are a failure.
I'm
Before I got
afraid
before I got
that's
these magical
her.
spectacles, I didn't know how to read.
Guess what'll happen to you and your spectacles then? Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up now.
It was slightly
Like
nasally, and it was a
10.
it was a different voice than the womanly voice that said transmission intercepted and all the other nonsense. They're words, and you kind of understand the words, and you sort of got the gist of it, but you're still.
Uka, over here. Don't bug Azzy.
So as he's basically taking a rest, this strangely reminds you, Isildan, of you taking a rest in your cocoon or your coffin of leaves, where you take a nice regenerating nap. It's like you're lying on the bed and you kind of like realize that you're lying very stiff. You haven't broken yourself of some of these like old patterns. You berate yourself a little bit, but finally you spend
PTSD flashbacks.
You spend a mythic point to recover, basically as if you rested. So I think like you shouldn't have much damage left. I don't know what state you're at for damage. And then you do a quick prayer to your lord, Cognazo, the Pale Hunter, or the white hunter. No, you're the Pale Hunter.
Yeah, Pale Archer.
Pale Archer. You actually hear boop boop. Boop.
Aslan can't come to the phone right now. He's busy saving our pots.
What was his name? The guy in the house coat.
Oh, in the house. Hang on. I gotta find it in.
Mr. M. Fiend? Or was it Mr. Peter Fiend?
It was the management, but
Middle management, or
no, it wasn't middle management.
Hang on. Sargrinus. The guy in the penthouse?
Yep.
Yeah, Sargrinus.
Connecting the call. Will you hold, please?
And then it clicks with
choice.
it clicks without like hearing the answer. Like
Yeah.
It was asking out of like some rehearsed politeness.
Yeah.
I said, please.
Right, but then immediately like pushed the button over. Let's see if I can find his token. So much stuff after 73 games. I've got folders and folders and folders.
It's that guy from
Paul Giamatti.
it's Paul Giamatti from Shoot 'Em Up.
Yep, and this was, what was the name? Isildan's backstory? No,
It was a New Dis. Welcome to New Dis or something like that.
Adam,
There
I
we
have
go.
to mention this because it's starting to freak me out. Seeing your camera, okay, see your door, right? There's like, it looks like there's a little head looking at me.
Do you know what that is?
It looks like there's a little head looking at me.
You just hang on there.
Uh-oh. Oh, I know what he's gonna do. It's a unicorn. I get you.
Azzy, my friend. Well, haven't you been a busy little bee?
Yeah. Well, I've been getting about, visiting the plains a bit, doing some hunting, shooting some things.
I've heard such a strange rumor. Now, eventually it will be verified, but you know, some bureaucracies are quite slow. It's a good thing that I maintain my own personal network. Where are you right now?
Oh, I'm in. Well, I can't remember what layer I'm in the abyss right now.
The Abyss, yes. Such a strange place that is, where they decide that they're going to break all the laws, and yet always act, if you zoom out far enough, in the same way. It's almost like their primary law is to act chaotic. Interesting. There are all sorts of crazies out there that are trying to prove this law. You're not one of those crazies, are you, Isildan?
No, I'm not crazy. You know that. We got a deal.
Just had to get that out of the way. And you actually, with your really perceptive perception check, hear a pen, like, writing something or, like, signing an initial on a pad of paper in front of him.
Okay.
Cognazo has sent me a message. Apparently, you've done a great thing. You could hear him smiling expectantly. What do you need? What do you need, old chap?
Well, I need to get my ass out of the abyss right now. A little tired after what I've been through.
Oh, yes, yes. Is there anything else? Anything at all?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I might like to renegotiate maybe the terms and conditions of my contract, given the value of added performance I put in lately.
Sorry, just a second.
Are you kidding me right now?
and you can hear him like some sort of muffled conversation. Yes. What was that?
What I was saying, there's a certain value-added contribution I think I'm giving to our mutual benefactor here. I mean, I'm sitting here with Dorsane's head.
Yes, you should keep that one.
Yeah, I was thinking that and Yinagu's tooth make a nice necklace.
Yes, the head, however. Lots of intelligence inside that head.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll send someone to pick it up. You'll be rewarded.
Yeah, anyway.
So, certainly, for a great slayer such as you, Cognazo will put your prayers at the front of the queue. Is there anything else?
Yeah, not right now. Is there any way I could be put at the front of the queue for the calls, by the way? That would be really, really great.
I'm sorry, Zildin, I've got other pressing matters that have come up.
Okay, what about when I ask for crackers when I pray for meals, that they don't come in them little things where you can't open the little plastic without crushing the crackers?
Done. You'll never have to deal with the plastic on the crackers again. All right, Zildin.
All right. No more
Ta-ta.
cold soup. I don't like that either. All right.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
And
I traded God's head for no plastic on the crackers. Done.
Zildin, there is the harsh, cold prayers that are being answered from Cognazo, giving you the powers that you require.
Cool. Yeah, Zildin prays for so many spells. No. Plane shift being...
After 2 hours, you notice the strange cube creatures just standing by the door and watching the landscape change.
Time to go. Anywhere is better than here.
There are twisters of strange cloud that are going down and sort of moving around throughout the landscape, and you actually see a mountain in the distance sort of explode upwards, like the whole mountain's being absorbed somewhere else into the sky.
The whole plane is being reshaped in the will of its new owner/owners, or becoming some sort of place of flux. All of these are places. I'm not the owner. I don't want to be here anymore.
The strange cube creature is just staring at it like a child staring at TV, just absorbing it all.
Azzy. I can't hear you, Azzy. Azzy, why don't you speak to me, Azzy?
Sorry. It was in God mode. I was speaking to my God, and
can we go now, Azzy?
yeah, all right, ready to go. Everyone got everything. Don't want to leave anything behind today. Not coming back for it. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Let's go then.
All right.
And Zildin casts plane shift with the rod and gets them to the first layer of the abyss.
Which I guess you can do from inside the Magnificent Mansion, because it's a different plane.
I don't see why not.
So Zildin reaches out hands and touches everyone, including I'm assuming the strange cube creature.
Go team!
what's the percentage on the rod?
98%.
All right, I'm gonna roll this one if you guys don't mind.
We're going someplace fun. As long as it's not here, I really don't care, actually.
And thus begins the Halloween special adventure. As I show you what I roll on the dice.
Oh, weird.
Totally random.
How did that happen? I feel like a unicorn.
Okay.
Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clay.
Have you guys updated your character sheets as per requested?
I'm on it. I just found
Okay.
out about it when I got here.
I am only going to need Donovan, Uker, Lemio, Lokrik, Midwick, King Altagar, and Azildan.
That's everybody.
Yep. I'm going to copy these tokens, and I'm going to open up a different sheet in map
Do you
tool.
want to? What name would you like to give the region, or is it going to be question mark, or
Why is
Halloween
it-
special?
Hey, I found something.
I'm gonna call it a we're gonna call the adventure tonight Abyssal Abduction.
Amber Alert.
Oh crap!
Abyssal Abduction. Now let's just, for the sake of I don't know, make sure I'm not typing anything with typos, because that would be bad.
I had to ask for a Halloween special.
I don't know why I'm the one who updates things when I have the worst spelling, and it's the one thing that's with a tool that doesn't have spell check. All right.
I'm just a strange building.
Yep, that's fine.
Randomly. Well, this is fun.
Okay.
Is there anything? Guess not. Okay.
All right,
I'm
I pasted
here.
your tokens somewhere, but I'm not too sure where they went. How do I find them?
Marty, what about Altagar's mutations?
Center characters?
Um,
Can do.
I
those are
think
curses.
I think leave the mutations.
Oh, maybe they're not
All right,
curses.
mutation stays.
Okay. There is a strange thing that happens when you try to plane shift out of the 422nd layer. You
Bunch of candy.
remember everything that happened with the battle with Yinagu and what led you up to the point where you tried to leave the layer itself. But then it's blackness, some strange murmuring over the bubbling of water, and the feeling that you are in a warm, wet place. It's soothing.
Is the murmuring an attempt by something to communicate with sound?
Yes, I will give Donovan once he has his wherewithal. I will give Donovan an int check to recall the murmuring while he was in a certain place.
Yeah, checks aren't a strong suit, so.
The first thing, however, I want you guys to do is to roll initiative, but to roll initiative using your con bonus.
I'm so screwed.
So our new bare bones con bonus.
Your new bare bones con bonus, yes.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
So just 1d20 plus con.
Yeah, your con modifier.
I feel like a first level character.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, Twitch.
Oh, Midwick, you always go first.
Okay. Are we using a combat sheet for this?
We can, yep.
Are we still adding our tier and everything?
Yeah, you still have your latent mythic powers.
Okay. So
Do we seal, Marty? This is all the characters,
Shit.
What's that?
or it's
Sorry?
just the four? Is this is for all the
Everybody.
characters?
This is everyone. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have the combat sheet open. Yet.
You were
27.
welcome to the tube.
27 for Zildin, 23 for Altagar.
Nothing good happens that starts with you are in a tube.
So randomly, if you recall the Halloween episode with Vargon, that was a request from one of the players at the time, John, to have a Halloween episode. Ahmed actually asked last weekend, "Hey, where's our Halloween episode?" So
That was before the game itself.
this is it.
Said, don't pin this on me, man.
Are we consider having rested or no?
Yes, you have achieved a certain amount of rest. Who is the first person? Actually, go ahead and roll for Lokrik as well. Who is the first person to awake?
Zildin got a 27.
This is all the bonuses? So are we including...
Mythic.
We're not including Dex, right?
Your con and your mythic.
Okay, so I also get a 27. Minvic.
So Luker should have a +1 on this.
I have a +3 con.
Doesn't. So 21 for Nuka.
Yep. If you guys could just tell me who the first person is, that would be great.
What's your con?
After everyone's rolled.
16.
Okay, I have a 20. No, actually, no, sorry, I have a 16 as well.
All right, well, just
16. Yeah, let's do it again, I guess.
yeah.
It's a D20.
Yeah, 1d20.
Layer in the goo.
Are you shaking now?
Just
Laying in the goo.
layer in
I
the
got an
goo.
18.
So
Azzy's
the first one. He's used to this.
He's like, oh
He's
shit,
done
not
this
again.
before.
Not again.
I haven't used in months.
Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
little
As he
demon.
spent much of his formative years laying in the goo, waking up in piles of stuff.
Okay. As he was part of the Donovan, well, he was part of his group. So Donovan,
Yep.
Lokrik,
Recovering
Luker,
connection. Remark.
and Altagar. Okay. So Azildin, you were the first to awake.
I don't know if he can hear you. Just saying. I'm getting recovering connection, so I don't know if you can see him or not. And on Twitch, you can't see him.
Hey, look! There's a big. This looks kind of.
DJ Azzy. Okay, hold on. While he's reconnecting, I'm gonna go and call Answer Nature.
Give me back my son.
So Mark disconnected, then reconnected with a cookie. Like not having a cookie and being disconnected and frozen.
Okay, Azildin, you awake, and remember in the scene in Star Wars where Luke was recovering from hypothermia on Hoth? Like he kind of like is in a bubbling tank. You were in a similar
with the back to tank.
Yeah.
It's the back to tanks for Star Wars. Yeah.
Yep. So basically, you are kind of like floating in this strange gelatin substance. It's really smudgy. It's hard to see. You think there are other tanks beside you. Immediately, you realize that while it was sort of warm and comforting to start with, there is something that is like very angrily jammed down your throat, and kind of like this organic mask that is around both your nose and your mouth. You also notice that there is a cord that is grabbing and kind of pinching a little bit your belly button. You are completely naked and sort of trapped in this goo.
Okay.
There is a door that looks like it's closed. Like this is all through blurred. This is all through blurred experience. There does look like there is a doorway, like part of the paneling of this strange place could possibly open. And you distinctly hear some sort of like repetitive and distant sound of like boop, 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 and then some sort of voice in a language you don't understand.
Okay.
There's a slight feminine quality to the voice. There's a bit of urgency while the voice itself is calm. And then just the strange bubbling of this stuff that you're in.
Okay. He's gonna pull the cord from his belly button. I
Okay.
guess.
Give me a strength check.
The mighty Isildur.
He's pretty buff, actually. Then to be clear, he's like a 16 strength archer.
18.
Ah! Oh god, it was kind of like pincered around around your belly button with like 4 clamps, and there was something definitely like inserted. The substance of the thing that was inserted, like a blade-like tube, was strong, but it was bendy a little bit as you pull the thing off of your chest. You notice that a little bit of your blood escapes into the gelatin, but the blood isn't flowing. You actually feel a tingly sensation with the gelatin, and your wound is actually slowly starting to close. Your hand goes down reflexively because it felt like you pulled a dagger out of your chest. And give me a perception check.
Okay, hang on. New perception is. -2.
Goo.
I just finished all cigars. Damn it. There we go. -2. -12. So 30. He's still pretty perceptive. 50? That's
There's
without items, yes.
And then give me a heal check. You have a plus 34 without items? Good God.
Yeah. Well, he's got. Yeah. Yeah. Heal? No.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a spell-based healer. So. Let me double check that. +8. So 19.
The way that the wound around your belly button, and then the way that this stuff is closing up your wound, you think this gelatin might be acting as some sort of healing agent. But your belly button is healing into the wrong shape. There's a slight indentation, but there's 4 like marks where the flanges of the attachment were, and it doesn't feel like your belly button, like the way your belly button felt before.
Okay.
There's a gurgling sound as the substance that's all around you is starting to like be sucked out of the tube you're in, and it's going somewhere else through smaller hoses that are attached to this structure.
Already. Okay. He's gonna, once it's cleared his head level.
Yep.
He's gonna try and pull the tube from his throat.
Yeah, this one actually detracts a little bit easier from your face. However, there's a gagging kind of reflex that you hit as you're pulling the tube that was down your throat out. You kind of look at the thing. It's like part organic, part not. It almost looked like it was maybe even a creature that was attached at the end of this tube. It was definitely pushing air through one hole, and then the deeper thing that you pulled out of your throat, there's this weird substance that was dripping out of it. It looks like some sort of greenish pablum. But you kind of fling that away from you while you're moving around in this goop. The goop is disappearing rapidly. Let's see who is next.
Lemmy, I think. Or was it Lemmy?
Midwick.
Midway.
It was Midwick?
Lemmy's always last.
Okay. Let's unfog this area.
Oh, you know what I just realized?
What?
Midwick sounds like the monster. Oh no.
Good. You have an outlet.
I have
You
an
should
outlet.
Use the outlet.
Midwick's really talkative these days. Okay.
All right, Midwick. Similar thing. Although something's really wrong with you. You know all that hard work you did to mummify your organs? Somebody undid this.
Yeah, man. Oh, son of a.
I go through the same kind of thing. I undo, pull, try to free myself.
Okay. There's also another thing that you noticed, Midwick. You don't have your ghostly hand. And then give me a perception check as you're kind of waking up in the tube.
Okay. Okay. 22.
22?
Hold on. Wait. Perception. 15. Oh yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep,
you're
22.
naked. You've got something angrily attached to your belly button area. You have something in your face that's probably helping you breathe. But you do feel something that hurts when you swallow? Like there's something else that's like further down your throat. If you don't move, it's okay. But once you start moving around, it seems very uncomfortable. You're naked. You do not have your third ghostly arm. Your arms are perfectly healed, as if somebody had regenerated them. And the organs that you have alchemically treated, you can tell have been reverted to before you learned that that discovery. A very frightening thing that hits you is that you cannot sense the gift from the crystal dragon.
Oh! Does Midwick have any of his abilities or not?
No, currently Mythic
No mythics.
Midwick does not have any mythic abilities.
Do you want me to just completely delete that from my sheet?
Just do strike through. So basically you still have mythic powers. You have no mythic points. I think that's how we'll handle it. You're still mythic, but
So I have like the
passive powers, just like everyone else. But there's a panic that Midwick goes through because I believe he took the crystal that was bestowed to him by the crystal dragon from his domain and stuck it inside like a secret pouch in his body somewhere. That not only is it missing, but the incision where you made that pouch is not there.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. And you can hear with your 22 kind of you can hear maybe the repetitive tone of something in the next room.
Okay.
All right, so Azildan is the first to spill out of his tank. As the bottom of the tank opens, when the last bit of the goo has sort of drained out, it's still covering everything. You're sort of slick like a newborn babe as you are unceremoniously dumped out of a hatch. The tank itself was maybe about 3 feet off the ground, and you're kind of dumped out of the bottom of the tank onto the ground. You are currently prone and nauseated.
Okay. There's no enemies nearby. He's going to take a moment until he's feeling a little better.
Just gonna sit here and let nature do its work.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Okay, so Azildan kind of curls up in the fetal position and is sort of puking up this green stuff. You can hear this voice that might be intonating something to you, but or maybe it's like an alarm. There's a couple of flashing lights from a nearby. Oh, how would I describe this to Azildan's eyes? Something the tech level that you'd expect to have seen in your boss's office.
Okay.
It's a flat thing about waist height, and there's a bunch of like weird sigils and lights kind of on it.
I'm just assuming that this time there's no intuitive knowledge of how to use it. Like I figured out the phone or things.
No, there's no helpful. There's no helpful sort of intuition for the UX. You do see that there are 2 other forms in tanks, and you've traveled with your party members long enough to know what they look like and to know what they look like naked.
Okay.
There is a very spindly Donovan and a very grunky Euchre floating unconscious in tanks of their own.
Sad.
Even unconscious, he's flexing.
Sure. Every once in a while, Euchre's like foot twitches and like a calf muscle flexes.
It's still working out.
Okay.
The 2 empty tanks.
Like
The 2 empty tanks have liquid in them, but no particular bodies.
All right, and there's no evidence of our gear anywhere, I'm assuming?
No, you
Because
don't. You do
otherwise
not.
You wouldn't have had us do this bare bones thing that I hate
No,
so much?
you see absolutely none of your gear, and there's no holy symbol around your neck.
I have a brand.
The brand is not there.
Bullshit.
You should draw a holy symbol in your own dookie and see if that works.
Well, really, the symbol, my god's holy symbol, is a screaming, tortured soul, which I am.
I'm putting you through the classic thing that DMs should never put their characters through. I'm going to ask my players to roleplay their frustration in character.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm also
let's do
going to
this.
remind you that this is the Halloween adventure, and that death in role-playing games, at least fantasy ones, isn't always the end. And this particular game, more so than the last game, may have an impact on the story of the campaign, not so much on the, oh my god, we're going to die. But yeah, roleplay effectively. There will be rewards at the end for those that survive.
Okay.
What?
All right. For Isildan, though, he has no emotional connection to his god. It's more of a practical one, so it's frustration, but not, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. It's like, oh well, I don't get to hear
Isildan
from hell for a while.
Also feels like the burden of the weapon of law is gone.
Oh no, that's troubling. That's very, very troubling.
Like you
Glorious connection to your god. Meh. Oh, that burden. Oh god, I need my burden.
the thing that made him like really neat and kind of like be a man of his word and kind of like be really, really anal retentive. While you may still have that trait, the overbearing presence of the weapon of law is nowhere to be seen, and you don't see it anywhere. You just see these strange panels. You get the sense now, Isildan, that the green lights mean that there's somebody in the tube, whereas the little consoles in front of the ones that are emptying have different colored lights.
Okay,
Yours
so
is
you're
flashing a little bit, almost like maybe indicating that somebody should pay attention to you. Maybe there should have been somebody waiting for you, but as you're sort of lying in your own in your own soup, and but nobody does come. I think Midwick, give me a strength check. See how long it takes you to get out.
Oh yeah. It's gonna take some time.
What are you pulling out first, or what are you doing?
3 years later.
I'm gonna try to undo the. Can I do what do you call it? Disable device on the thing on my belly button.
Sure.
Like disable devices and just like.
The thing on your belly button. So you're trying to
Yeah.
basically get it to unleash nicely.
Yeah, that and the one around my. Yeah, try the belly button thing first.
Okay.
16.
You manage to stick your fingers in there, and sort of like you do feel hinges, and you're able to kind of coax it out. It does remove itself after some tugging. and there's a little bit of blood. The blood, however, isn't gushing out. Like the ooze is around, all around you, sort of tingles at the
He
wound.
starts to try to put it back.
Are you jamming it back in?
No. Putting my hand on top.
I see. Okay, yeah, your belly button's really screwed up. Give me a heal check.
Oops.
I'm going to give you a +2 to your roll because you basically perform surgery on yourself constantly.
Fuck.
Hey, do you have one of these? He's just holding out a pancreas. I got one of these. This one's mine.
13, because I'm awesome.
You're guessing it was connected to your intestines or stomach or something. It's hard to tell from your predicament. You're kind of shocked and maybe a little bit more panicky because of the loss of your crystal. But you do get it. You do get it off, and the tank is slowly starting to drain of its strange fluid. You see that there are several of your companions, or at least figures, in tanks beside you.
The next thing, if I do still have an action, is to try to get the thing out of my mouth.
Okay.
Just trying to straighten my body out, and try to slowly pull it out.
Okay. The water is still, or the goo is still above your head. Are you doing it now?
I'll wait till it comes down to nose.
Okay. So you wait until it comes down to your nose and you start pulling it out. Yeah, you're able to do that. Midwick, you are.
Midwick's going into survival mode now, like when he was being hunted by everybody. He's like, oh no, like going into savage.
You're pulling out this tube and there's some strange stuff coming out of it. You feel sick to your stomach as all of this liquid is being drained away, and eventually your little feet touch the bottom of the tank. A few moments later, however, as all the liquid drains, there's still slick Vaseline kind of covered stuff like gelatin all around you, and then the bottom of the tank kind of opens up and spills you out. Are you going to go out with the spillage, or are you going to try to resist that?
I can see outside that it's going into the ground.
Yeah, the bottom of the tank is kind of opening up, and it looks like it's sending you outside.
Yeah, I'm going with it, but not letting it flush me out, controlled. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you stumble out just in front of the tank. You kind of slip and you hold, and you realize you're just going out into the room, and then you fall down, really weak and really sick as you lie there for a moment, shivering from the change in temperature. It's at this point in time where Zildin and Midwick are kind of puking or have finished puking, that you actually hear a harsh noise on the other side of the door, and this weird insectoid sort of chittering. Welcome to MedLab. You actually hear several voices, but you understand the voice. But the voice that responds in return is a much more hostile kind of insectoid screech. And then you hear a wham wham, and then a bunch of pieces of strange metal or plastic hitting the ground. Welcome to MedLab.
Someone's gonna go for a hide. Marty, I'm gonna go for a hide.
Okay.
I guess I'll try and hide too.
That would be stealth. There we go.
All right, so you guys basically hobble up on one round and then try to hide behind something on the next round.
Yeah. So Marty, I spill the goo. I throw the goo everywhere, so it can't be tracked. Do you know what I mean? I swipe with the goo into my hand, so it goes flying everywhere, and then I a tippy toe, so it doesn't look like you can find my feet. So it's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay, so if you try to cover your tracks, that will be an additional round before you get to hide.
Yeah, I got a 44.
Azildin, where are you hiding in this room? Just describe.
He's hiding behind Ukers.
It's only one real spot.
You managed to slip between